everybody, welcome back. This is going to be a quick video today. I had a few emails over the last month or so. People were asking me what speaker cable I am using and what speaker cable I recommend. Now, I've been in this audio game for a long time and I have heard many a speaker cable, many a interconnect, many cables. Now, I used to be of the belief, say, 20 years ago, that speaker cables did not matter at all. And then maybe 15 years ago, I discovered that speaker cables do and can make a difference. I was using a cheap set of cables, and then I upgraded to a Nordost Valhalla set, the OGs, and I really noticed a difference in the sound at the time. But let's be truthful about speaker cables and what they do to a system. Today, I'm using a set of cables that set me back $39. These go in and out of the system from time to time to remind myself that we don't have to spend a fortune on speaker cables. And believe it or not, in this system that I'm running right now, these sound better than some cables that are 75 times more expensive than this. So that is crazy. These are 30, 40 bucks for a 12-foot pair. They're copper, they're really well made. They have banana connectors, and you can buy them on Amazon. And that's what I've been listening to for the past couple of weeks. And about a year ago, maybe it's been 2 years, I did a video about speaker cables and affordable speaker cables. And I tried out a bunch, and these were the ones that were my favorite. I'm happy to say after all this time, they're still my favorite budget speaker cable. But can we get more by spending more? Yes, but you have to spend a lot more, and that is not going to guarantee you that you're going to get a better sound. A lot of people use speaker cables as sort of a tone control because that's about the effect they can have on your system. They might mute the highs a little bit or even help those highs to come out more. They might tighten up a sloppy bass a little bit. They might flesh out a mid-range just a little bit because these differences are there, but they're not as huge as, say, changing out an interconnect cable. That's a whole different thing. Over all of my years, 35, 37 years of doing this, I always have noticed a bigger difference swapping out interconnect cables than I have speaker cables. And while I have noticed a difference in swapping out speaker cables and trying uber expensive cables, those Valhallas, I bought them used at the time for $3,000. I think that was for a 12-foot pair, maybe a 4-meter pair. And I noticed a little bit more shine to the music, a little bit more glow. But you know what? After a few weeks, I didn't notice that anymore. So was it the new effect wearing off? I remember going back to cheap cables, Nordost Blue Heaven, after the Valhallas, and I did notice a little bit of difference. The imaging, the music wasn't as full and fluid as the Valhalla with the Blue Heaven, but dang, they still sounded pretty good, and it was like 95% as close to there. Now these speaker cables I'm still using, and they have a beautiful sound to them. I picked these out of several that I tried on Amazon going up to a little over $100, I believe. And these stood out for me. Not all cable is made the same, not even cheap cable. I once ordered a pair of cheap cables. They were like 120 bucks, so they weren't cheap. And they made the system sound flat, horrible. So cables can make a difference. But again, you might not get the result you're looking for. It's not wise. I wouldn't recommend on a whim going to a website and spending $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on speaker cables unless you know you can return them if they don't work out for you. But I highly recommend these cables. They are what I'm going to be using going forward. I'm no longer going to put in fancy cables into the system because I have been loving the music with these $39 cables, and that's no joke. Now, going back to those Valhallas, those are my favorite speaker cables of all time, even after auditioning the much more expensive Valhalla 2. But today, these days, I value my budget more than that extra 5% of improvement. And I'm happily running my system with these. And I have higher end cables here, and I've been listening to them for the past week. And I'll be darned if I don't keep going back to these. If you're interested in what these cables are, I highly recommend them. They're pliable, they're soft, they're 12 feet long, they have bananas at the end, and they're just easy to work with and sound awesome. So I'll put a link in the description below. If you want to check out these cables, you can get them right on Amazon, but there's hundreds of cables on Amazon, and it might be hard to find this one. So the link's in the description. I just wanted to give an update because somebody asked me what cables I recommend. This is the cable I recommend to 99.8% of you out there, unless you have some $500,000 system, then you're going to want to finish it off with some really pristine cables. But for everyone else, these are awesome, and you can't beat them for the money. Now, my next review is coming in a couple days. Finally going to have the review for the Borison X2 speakers. Oh, I've been enjoying listening to them, but I have many speakers here right now. I have speakers. I still have my Closer Acoustics Augie and Bob, the speaker system of the gods. And putting them back in last night, I said, yep, I still stand by that speaker system of the gods. I've been running them with amps from AGD, the Duet, and holy cow, I cannot wait to do the review for these amps. The X2s sound amazing with these amps as well, but the X2s do something that no other speaker here has done, so I'm going to talk about that in my review, hopefully within a couple of days. And I have much more to come. There's a new set of speakers coming, I think Pearl Acoustics have sent me their speakers, and I think they're supposed to arrive here tomorrow, so I'll be setting those up. I have to get caught up. I have a lot of stuff to do here, a lot of things in for review. So if you want to see all that, thumbs up and subscribe, and be sure to hit that notification. And yeah, you'll see all that stuff coming soon. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Have a great rest of your day. Yeah, cheap speaker cables that sound awesome.